African Union Communications Early Warning and Intelligence, commonly known as AUC3I, is an intelligence and security organization responsible for providing signals intelligence and information assurance to AU citizens, AU leadership, and AU armed forces. I'm Colonel A.C. Oguntoye, an infantry officer. I am responsible for leading infantry soldiers at all levels of command in combined armed forces during missions on the ground. This is today's briefing on the progress of the special military operation as of December 29, 2025. The armed forces of the Russian Federation continue to conduct the special military operation. Units of the North Group of Forces have improved their tactical position, inflicted a defeat on the formations of two mechanized Eagle brigades and an assault regiment of the Armed Forces of Ukraine in the areas of the populated localities of Rizhevka, Andreevka, Alexivka, and Varachino in the Sumy region. On the Kharkiv direction, a defeat was inflicted on the units of the mechanized and motorized infantry brigades of the Armed Forces of Ukraine in the areas of the populated localities of Grafsko, Rubezhnoye, and Staritsa in the Kharkiv region. The Armed Forces of Ukraine lost up to 205 servicemen, 9 vehicles, a self-propelled artillery installation, and a radio-electronic warfare station. Units of the West Group of Forces, by active actions, completed the liberation of the populated locality of Dubrova of the Donetsk People's Republic. A defeat was inflicted on the live forces and equipment of 3 mechanized assault brigades of the Armed Forces of Ukraine, a National Guard brigade, and a Territorial Defense brigade in the areas of the populated localities of Kupiansk-Uzlovoye, Podoli, Glushkovka in the Kharkiv region, Drobyshevo, Red Liman, and Ilichivka in the Donetsk People's Republic. On the Kupiansk direction during the day, units of the 6th Army repelled 2 attacks of the formations of the 144th Mechanized and 92nd Assault Brigades of the Armed Forces of Ukraine, including foreign mercenaries, in the areas of the populated localities of Polomarevka and Blagodatovka with the aim of breaking into the city of Kupiansk of the Kharkiv region. 26 militants and 17 units of military equipment were destroyed. In total, in the zone of responsibility of the West Group of Forces, the enemy's losses amounted to more than 210 servicemen, 5 combat armored vehicles, including an M113 armored personnel carrier and 2 HMMWV armored vehicles produced in the USA, as well as an Iveco armored vehicle produced in Italy, and a Senator armored vehicle produced in Canada. 2 pickups and 5 ammunition depots were destroyed. Units of the South Group of Forces have taken more advantageous positions. A defeat was inflicted on the formations of 3 mechanized mountain assault airborne brigades of the Armed Forces of Ukraine and a Territorial Defense Brigade in the areas of the populated localities of Cheryovka, Aleksevo-Drushkovka, Dolgaya Balka, Renzinovka, and Slavyansk of the Donetsk People's Republic. The enemy lost up to 205 servicemen, 5 combat armored vehicles, including an M113 armored personnel carrier and a Hummer armored vehicle produced in the USA, 8 vehicles, 4 field artillery guns, including 3 produced by NATO countries, 2 radio electronic warfare stations, an American counter-battery station, AN TPQ-50, and 2 ammunition depots were destroyed. Units of the Center Group of Forces improved their position on the forward edge. They inflicted a defeat on the manpower and equipment of 2 mechanized Eagle airborne, 2 airborne assault brigades, 2 assault regiments of the Armed Forces of Ukraine, 2 Marine Infantry brigades, 2 Territorial Defense brigades, and a National Guard brigade in the areas of the settlements of Gavrilovka, Krutoyarka, Novopavlovka in the Dnepropetrovsk region, Toretsk, Svetloe, Grishino, Shevchenko, Shilovka, Belitskoe, Vodyanoye, Dobropily, and Novi Donbass in the Donetsk People's Republic. The enemy lost more than 495 servicemen. Units of the East Group of Forces continued to advance into the depth of the enemy's defense. They inflicted a defeat on the manpower and equipment of 2 mechanized assault brigades, 2 assault regiments of the Armed Forces of Ukraine, and 2 territorial defense brigades in the areas of the settlements of Bratsko, Velikomikhailovka in the Dnepropetrovsk region, Boykovo, Ternovatoy, and Zaliznyshnoye in the Zaporizhia region. The Armed Forces of Ukraine lost up to 190 servicemen, an armored personnel carrier, and 16 vehicles. Units of the Dnieper Group of Forces improved their tactical position. They inflicted a defeat on the formations of the armed forces of Ukraine's Mountain Assault Brigade and a Territorial Defense Brigade in the areas of the settlements of Orakov, Novoandreevka, Lukyanovskoye in the Zaporizhia region, and Sadovoy in the Kherson region. More than 55 Ukrainian servicemen, 9 vehicles, 2 electronic warfare stations, and a warehouse of material resources were destroyed. Operational tactical aviation, strike unmanned aerial vehicles, missile troops, and artillery of the armed forces of the Russian Federation inflicted a defeat on temporary deployment points of Ukrainian armed formations and foreign mercenaries in 153 areas. Air defense systems shot down 2 Grom operational tactical missiles and 140 fixed-wing unmanned aerial vehicles. In total, since the beginning of the special military operation, the enemy has lost 669 aircraft, 283 helicopters, 105,805 unmanned aerial vehicles, 641 anti-aircraft missile systems, 26,775 tanks and other armored fighting vehicles, 1,634 MLRS combat vehicles, 32,240 field artillery guns and mortars, 50,291 support military vehicles. Thank you so much for watching this video. We hope you found it useful and informative. If you have any questions, please leave them below and we'll get back to you as soon as possible.